Hey everyone, welcome back. Chris McCormick joined by Sam Kim. Today we are in the Scottsdale TrueSpec studio testing new Wilson DYNAPWR product. So we got 3 drivers to hit, 2 Fairway Woods. Sammy, just first looks, this stuff looks awesome.
Looks great. Always excited to hit new stuff, so this should be fun.
So they have put a lot of time, energy, and effort redeveloping these DYNAPWR Woods, so I'm excited to get in the bay. But before we hit some shots, make sure give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and with that, let's get in there.
Let's do it.
So Sam, starting our test, we've got 3 models that we're going to hit. Out of the gate, we're going to test LS. So this is their low spin model, 445 cc's, and Wilson's actually engineered these to be a little more on the fade bias side. So first impressions, how's that look to you?
Definitely looks like a smaller head, which makes sense at 445 cc's, but looks really good. Super clean. It sits very square on the ground, maybe a touch open.
Okay.
Definitely not closed, but looks really good on the ground.
So they put a lot of energy and effort into redesigning this AI-inspired face. So a lot of tech built into this new DYNAPWR family. So from the crown to the sole to the shaping to the acoustics, and then like I said, that new face tech. So curious to see what your feedback is after you hit a few. Great sound.
Sounds really nice. It also feels very solid.
That was a really good ball right out of the gate. That wasn't going left at all. So in your preferred ball flight, a little bit of a fade. So I mean, for a player that likes to see the ball move that direction, how was that for you?
It feels like this would take some effort to turn over. If you want to make it draw, you probably have to put some effort into it. But also, the fade for me is the stock shot, so I can do that all day. That's easy. But definitely feels like it would take some effort to turn it over.
Nice.
That was a good ball.
Really good ball there.
Yeah, that feels good. Feels really solid, paired with a good look. Kind of everything you'd want in a driver. It looks nice.
And compared to where we've seen some of the previous generations of product, this is leaps and bounds better than what we've had from Wilson in the past. I think this, I mean, first impressions, really good.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, too, just thinking back to the last Wilson driver I hit, that was their LS version. I remember that not being super low spin.
Yeah.
But this has been really, really low spin. Even for when I hit that left to right ball, you'd expect spin maybe kicks up a bit.
Right.
Open face a touch. Spin is still really low, which is pretty cool to see.
And you've got 2 adjustable weights that you can kind of fine tune that launch and spin. I mean, potentially shifting that heavy weight forward, drops even more spin off of the ball, and gives you a nice little bump in ball speed there too. Now, let's get one more just to round out the sample here. Another good ball.
It definitely doesn't want to go left, that's for sure.
For the player that struggles with that low left miss, like myself, or for somebody that is just looking for a predictable fade type of ball flight off the tee, this might be a great option for them. I mean, that was even low on the face, and look at the spin. Didn't get away from us, ball speed good, efficiency's up there, and that's an impressive driver.
Yeah, I really like it, it's really nice.
So from here, let's go LS into carbon and see how those compare to each other. So next model we have up is the Carbon. So this bumps us up into that full 460 cc head with a little bit more of a neutral look at address. So first impressions, how does that square up compared to what you just hit in the LS?
Definitely a bigger head. You can tell it's not massive, but it's definitely bigger than the LS. And I'd say it for sure sits a little bit more square. It looks less open than the LS did. But sits really nice behind the ball. Really like the way it looks. Same as the LS, that just feels very solid.
They seem like start line was a little more left there. Still faded nice for us. But start direction looked like it was a little more left of the initial target line. Ah, good ball speed there. Good swing. Another really good ball.
That feels really good. I like that a lot.
Another really good ball.
It definitely feels less fade bias than the LS. Feels easier to turn over, feels easier to get that face square at impact. I like the idea in both the heads we've hit so far that those weights are adjustable from front to back.
Sure.
Help dial in launch spin.
If you need the extra launch, need a little bit more spin, you gain some stability. So there's an opportunity there to take that head and really kind of fine tune it for a variety of player types.
Feels good.
So face got a little shut there, but one thing I want to point out with that shot, started left, but it held the line for basically the entire duration of that flight. Look at that. 2,200 spin, 105 feet in the air, 148 efficiency, 164 out of 111 miles an hour clubhead speed. That's really good.
So a little off the toe.
Off the toe. Look at that ball. Look at that ball flight. Wow. That was really impressive. Look at that. 2,200, 14.7 on the launch. Efficiency here. I've watched you hit more golf shots than I can count, and you're not that efficient.
No, not
So seeing
usually.
those numbers come out of the Wilson Carbon driver here, that's pretty impressive. You are getting a lot of bang for your buck there. 9 millimeters toe, and spin still held, launch still held, ball speed, great, efficiency, great. That's checking boxes for me, my friend.
I think it checks all the boxes.
Oh, let's bring that guy back. We have one more model in the driver family to test, and that is the Max. All right, Sammy, last but not least is the DYNAPWR Max. So this is going to be the highest MOI, most forgiving driver, highest launching, and like we talked about, one adjustable weight. But really cool feature having the mass on one pole of the weight, so you can flip it around and make the orientation towards the toe or towards the heel. So one extra little element of fine tuning for a particular player that you're working with.
It looks good. It looks like the Carbon, except maybe just sits a little more closed and looks a little more draw friendly. That felt good.
Pretty solid ball there.
It's a draw.
It's a draw.
I don't see a lot of those.
No, that was good. A 160 ball speed, 111 on the club head speed. Launch came out nice, almost 12 degrees. A 92 feet in the air, 34 degrees on the landing angle. Hey, that was a good ball. Pretty good ball there too, Sammy.
It feels different than the other two, and my guess there would be titanium versus carbon.
Absolutely.
And sound is maybe a little bit louder.
Carbon has a tendency to give it that more muted sound through impact for sure. But anytime you go back into a full titanium construction, I would expect acoustics to jump up a few decibels. Good ball there. That's a good one to end on.
That feels good.
Yeah, again, start direction consistently left of our target line. So, I mean, that's just going to attribute to the design of the head, right? Going into Max product and having those draw bias tendencies that you were commenting to as far as just how it sets at address. So pulling up our comparison page here, Sammy, taking a look at this data, and that LS definitely fade bias, eliminates the left side of the golf course. We saw that, and right out of the gate, very first swing you took. But, I mean, walk us through some of the other numbers. What's jumping out to you here?
I think what jumps out specifically on that LS driver is for how fade biased it was, it's really low spin.
Yeah.
Right, so when you see that ball moving left to right, that means face is probably open. You'd expect spin to kick up.
Sure.
But it was still really low spin, which is pretty cool to see.
It's definitely nice that it manages spin as well as it does. And launch was still pretty high too. So that's high launch, low spin.
Good combo.
Tough combo to get right. And that LS definitely checks that box. Now going into the Carbon, the core head, ball speed, really solid. Spin right where we want to see it. Good carry number, good total number. And I mean, that was painted on lines with relationship to target. Really good test there. And then you go into the Max, all titanium construction. We did see a little drop in ball speed there, but easy to turn over, wants to move right to left, super stable. You had a couple of mishits in there that we thought, oh, that's gonna go offline a little bit. Look up downrange and still in play. So, I mean, all in all, I would say really good test. DYNAPWR driver. I mean, there's almost something for everybody here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it's always good to see 3 different models do 3 different things,
Yeah.
right? Separate themselves from the others, which is great.
And it's perfect for us because it gives us a lot more levers to pull in a fitting environment. So I'd say with this, let's wrap up drivers, jump into Fairway Woods, and see how those 2 models test.
Let's do it.
All right, so 2 Fairway models that we're going to hit. First is going to be the Carbon model. Shares the same AI design face as what we tested in the drivers. as well as maintaining that carbon crown, and then a 30-gram weight. So at address, how's this look to you?
Looks really nice. It's a nice shape, sits square behind the ball, checks all the boxes.
That had a good sound.
Felt good, a little fade to it.
Not a bad ball there to start. Let's feel through impact off of that face.
Feels good, it feels very similar to the driver. I feel like I'm hitting a 3-wood version of the driver.
There you go.
It's not too different, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Now you hit that carbon driver great.
It's about as good as I can hit a 3-wood, and it feels nice.
So, and this carbon model is going to be designed for that player that's looking for more of a penetrating ball flight and may need some help scrubbing a little spin as well. So, I mean, take a look at the numbers there. So, efficiency really, really good. Good amount of ball speed, 2,800 spin. Apex height, 91 feet. Landing angle, 36 degrees. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd like to see a little higher out of you, but, I mean, that's very playable. Great sound there. That's a good ball.
Feels really nice. I like the way it feels.
Yeah, that's a good one to end on. Nice. Good sample there. All right, so second model that we're going to test is the Max. So this is a bonded product and actually has steel construction in the crown. And we've shifted that weight from right up against the face and taken 12 grams, pulled it back, kept it low. So the design here is basically stability and high launch. So let's see what this does compared to what we just saw in carbon. Wow, totally different sound. Look at that, like auto draw, right out of the gate.
That's first impression, is it definitely sounds a lot different.
That was totally different sound. Now look at the spin difference, Sam. I mean, launch was dramatically different. Ball flight, night and day. Spin jumps up, I mean, almost 1,000 RPMs compared to some of the shots that we saw with carbon.
And that's where you see moving that weight from the front of the face to the back of the head.
Another draw. So I mean, right out of the gate, first impressions, I'm saying this is extremely easy to turn over for a player that wants to see that right to left ball flight. So good compliment to what we saw in carbon that was, I mean, basically low launch, low spin, wants to work left to right. This is getting up in the air dramatically easier and wants to move right to left. That sounded good.
That was hit really good.
Great shot there. Nice. Again, just that nice subtle little draw there, Sam. That's a good one to end on. Let's take a look at these two side by side and see what this data looks like. So two fairway models that we tested between carbon and Max. Looking at this comparison screen, I mean, there's a little ball speed story here, but I mean, the thing that jumps out to me is start direction and dispersion downrange and spin. I mean, that is quite the story to tell between two models and just the difference in separation for the spin category.
Yeah,
I mean, what's that look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, you get 600 RPMs more spin going from carbon to Max, which equates to some distance. The carbon was definitely a little more fade bias. The Max was a little more draw bias. But I would say from hitting them, what the numbers don't show is they also sounded and felt a lot different.
Yeah, acoustics was a huge one. And I know that was a talking point for the DYNAPWR line this year, was they really focused on dialing in that sound and that feedback. And I mean, across the board between titanium and steel and carbon, everything sounded good.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Going back into these fairway woods, this is really interesting when we're looking at the carry yardage, even though there was only a mile-an-hour ball speed between the two. I mean, how it got to that carry number, 271 to 259 between the carbon and the Max, I mean, that's just spin story. Because the launch, again, only a degree apart. So spin really plays a part into what that golf ball is doing downrange.
Good to see. You don't want two clubs that are doing the same thing.
No, exactly. And then you have the three models that are available in driver. So it really gives you an opportunity to kind of fine tune what it is that you want to see. I mean, LS potentially in driver being that fade biased option off the tee, but then maybe you put a Max in play for the fairway wood so that you have something you can turn over in the event you need it. So when you are ready to check out new Wilson DYNAPWR, make sure you book your fitting at your local TrueSpec, and we'll see you next time.